Every minute counts when we want to go camping, especially for us weekend warriors. Today, I'm at home and I'm getting ready to go camping for a 3-day camping trip. And I want to share my favorite tips that I've learned along the way to help you hit the road faster, and tricks to help you keep your sanity when you're camping in a small camper. And my first tip is about packing. It's May and I live in Minnesota, and it's going to be a little chilly for these 3 camping days. But even when it's warmer out, I like to pack a sweatshirt or two because sometimes the nights get cool out. So these are all my clothes that I need to pack. And I use travel bags for a couple of different reasons, as you're about to see. One trick I learned a long time ago, and I don't recall when or where I learned this, but you always should roll your clothes before you pack them, regardless of what type of bag you're using. I'm really not sure how this trick works, but I do know that when you roll your clothes, it does save space. A couple of the travel bags I use are compression bags. This allows me to take more clothing, like a couple of sweatshirts or even a coat, without taking up extra space. I was able to get 3 pair of leggings and 3 bulky sweatshirts in this small, compact travel bag. Next, let's see if I can get my 3 t-shirts and my underwear in this small little bag. Yep, all 3 t-shirts are in there. And my undies. And a couple of pairs of socks. And even my bulky wool socks. Now I've got my t-shirts, my undies, and all my socks packed. I didn't compress this bag. I think this one might be just a little too full to compress, but still everything fit in this nice compact bag. These bags are really easy for traveling. Okay, I've got my 2 bags all packed and I'm ready to go camping. And once I get to my camper, I'll show you another trick I've got up my sleeve. If I'm gonna be gone longer than a couple of days, I've also got these 3 different size bags that I'll use to pack my clothes in as well. I've got one more packing tip for you, and that's about packing your shoes. Now, hang in there with me. I know you may or may not pack more than 1 pair of shoes, but I like to have my tennis shoes with for hiking, and these are my favorite hiking sandals that I love to wear, and I love to wear flip-flops. And to pack up all my shoes, I use a shoe travel bag. Now I've got all my shoes packed in this handy dandy carry bag. When we get to my campsite, I've got another tip for you about how to use the shoe bag in your camper. I recommend having one designated spot in your home where you can dump all the things in that you're going to want to bring with you on your next camping trip. That way it's really easy to grab everything up and take it with you when you're ready to go. And this will help you from forgetting something. And I keep everything in my front closet. Let me show you what I've got in here. So this is a rug that I took home and washed. So I put it right back into my box, into my to-go box. I also washed a towel, and so I put that in the box. This is what I use to bring back my dirty clothes in, and then of course once I've washed my clothes, I put this right back in the box so I don't forget it, so I've got it for my next trip. I ran out of Swiffer wipes, so I bought these and put it in the box. I've got a water bottle and a wine glass that I brought home to wash and put them right back in the box once they were washed. And I needed more doggy bags, so I made sure that I put these in the box. Having a box or a basket, yeah, you can get a little fancier than this brown box, but just having a designated spot and a place that you can put all of the things that you need to bring with you on your next camping trip will help you avoid forgetting something. And it just makes it really easy to pick everything up, pack it, and be on your way.
The next day.
Welcome to my camper. The first thing I do when I get in my camper is I unpack. I want to get everything organized. Here's the bag I brought for my dirty clothes. And then here are my bags that I packed. Here's my shoe bag. And my 2 bags of clothes. Perhaps you could call me the bag lady because I love my bags. I just throw my cosmetics in here and I'm ready to hit the road. My camper cannot be plugged in before I leave for a camping trip, so I like to use this insulated carrying bag to keep my food cold until the refrigerator has a chance to cool. Things are different for us weekend warriors and us small camper owners. First, because we're weekend warriors, I like to keep things really simple. So my thought is, why am I gonna unpack all my clothes, put them in a drawer? Okay, now I have a small camper. I probably or may not even have a drawer to unpack everything in. But now once I unpack everything in 2 or 3 days, I'm just gonna have to repack it up and take it home. This seems like a waste of time to me. So my next tip is put your clothes bags and any other bags that you brought along in your closet and don't unpack them. My camping clothes aren't fancy dancy, so it's really rare that I have anything that needs to be hung up. If you don't have a large closet to store your clothing in, then these bags are really going to come in handy. Because these travel bags are small and compact, they're really easy to store in Cubbies or any other space you have in your small camper. And my next tip is, not only does the shoe travel bag make it really easy to carry extra pairs of shoes with you, but there's usually not a good place to keep and store shoes in small campers. So instead of tripping over your shoes on your small floor space, when you use a shoe travel bag, you can keep your shoes out of the way and store them in a closet, a cubby, or any other small space you have. Before I get on to my next tip, I want to know, what are the hacks or what are the tips that you use to be able to hit the road faster? Let me know what you do in the comments section below. I can't wait to hear what you do, and I love reading your comments. My next tip is to make sure that you keep everything that you use on a regular basis stocked in your camper, and of course, space permitting. Let me show you some of the things I always make sure I keep in my camper. I use compostable plates and silverware, so I don't have to do the dishes when I'm camping. So I always make sure I have plenty on hand. I also keep kitchen essentials like can openers and bottle openers, tongs, and things I need for grilling. You don't want the hassle of packing and bringing these things with you every time you go camping. Keeping collapsible food storage containers in my camper has also been very useful for storing leftover food, and they don't take up much storage space. I always make sure that I've got Picardian with me. This really helps combat mosquitoes.
And they love me.
I also use thermocells to keep the mosquitoes away, so I always make sure I have plenty of refills on hand. Other things I always make sure I have are disposable gloves and trash bags. Make your own list. What are the things that you use every time you go camping? And then make sure you always have these things in your camper. This next tip has really helped me keep my sanity. Every time something gets low or I need to replace something, I keep a list app on my phone. Then when I'm camping and I realize I'm running low on something, I add it to a special camping list. Before using a list app, I'd get home and I'd be like, what were those 2 things I needed to buy again? At the time I thought, oh, I'll never forget that. But then I get home and I'd forget what those things were. And as I get older, this has become very handy. This way, I don't have to think about it. Once I put that item on my list, I just let it go. Because I know once I get home, I'll open my app, I'll see my list, I'll purchase the things I need to, I'll put these things in my RV to go box, and I'm all set. Now you need to know how to keep your sanity when you're packing up your camper every time you go camping. And in a previous video that I did right up here, we'll show you exactly how to do just that. So click on this video right up here right now, or if you don't see a video up here, I'll also leave it in the video description below. I can't wait to see you over in that video next.